Can you guys see me? Is it filming right? Hey, it's Alexis Ortiz-Sofield. Thanks for stopping by. That's a really terrible catch thing. I'm not even gonna try to be like every other YouTuber, dude. I want to because I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, but I just can't. I can't have it in me to be all 5 quick tips for you to make beats, and I'm all bubbly. And this is how people make it on YouTube, is by being bubbly. That was a rant. Yeah, so this video I'm actually trying something different, like putting a little effort into my video production. I could do it. Just I run out of time. I have a lot going on, dude. So I had somebody reach out to me. He requested for me to do like a vocal tutorial, just like basics, the comp editor, the pitch editor, nothing super advanced, just the basics basically of comp editing and the pitch editor and the little things that are kind of a pain in the butt that took me a second to kind of figure out. And this will hopefully save a headache, and it'll help the learning curve, or it'll help. I can't even speak, guys. My strength is not speaking in public. Let's call a spade right now. For the record, I'm not super qualified. I'm not like world-renowned vocalist editor. I just know how to use the recent program. All right, so maybe you can learn something from it. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the Scooby-Doo. All right, so I opened up the default template that you'll get with Reason, with the exception of this voiceover, obviously. And then I created a new audio track. Right-click, create audio track. But I added this select gain because if I leave it the way it is, it's gonna mess up my voiceover. So anyway, essentially, create your Vox. I'm not gonna go over effects. I'm not gonna go over effects and compression and how you wanna do that. So I'm gonna go over basically the comping and the pitch editing. So let me drag in a backing track, okay? So I had the backing track on my desktop. I did put the tempo 81 down here because I knew that the backing track was tempo 81. We're gonna drag it in and slide it right under the Vox. All right, let's give that a listen real quick. All right, so you notice that I have these blocks. Watch this video on how I use blocks, and you can do the same thing. Super easy. Okay, and if you don't have it enabled, this is what goofed me up the last time. Go to your options. Yeah, options, and then go to enable blocks. It'll give you the ability to actually do it. Just watch that video and show you how to do that. So we're gonna record a vocal. I already have my audio track. I'm gonna assume that you already have your mic and all that figured out, and you have your input selected on your Vox channel. The way you can record vocals is that you can record them over and over again, and it'll create a non-destructive copy of itself. It'll comp edit, and then you can select the different parts of each track on how you want it. You can loop it how you want. I think it's easier for me to just loop it like this, start like that, and start singing. So you can keep the loop indicators here, but start back here initially. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna loop at the L and R. So I'm gonna arm the track, and I'm gonna hit the record, and I'm gonna loop like 3 or 4 takes, and I'll show you what it looks like on the other side. Hello, it's Alexis. It's Alexis. It's Alexis. Hello, it's Alexis. It's Alexis. It's Alexis. Hello, it's Alexis. It's Alexis. It's Alexis. Hello. And that took out. I stopped recording. That's all it took. So let me. All right, now we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna mute the backing track so it doesn't get too repetitive. I'm gonna click the actual audio track, right? You can go ahead and trim this to your liking, doesn't matter. Look up right here. You'll see you have a slice edit, you have a pitch edit, and you have a comp edit. Now, I suggest you do your comp edit first before you start messing with the pitch. So we're gonna select comp edit now. Bammo whammo. Let's look at this. Let's make this big. Okay. See where it says Vox bounced? You have these arrows to the left. Notice take 1 is down here. Take 2 is over here. Take 3 is here, and so on and so forth. These arrows simply mean that you're selecting that take as the official clip for that audio track, okay? Let's say you like this part of take 1 here. Hello, it's Alexis. But then you like this part of take 2. It's Alexis. And then, yeah, let's say you like those 2. First thing you do is take the snap off. Hit the S. See the snap? If you leave the snap on and you really want to fine tune this, you can't really because it's snapping. Take the snap off, okay? Now, this goofed me up before. This is what you have to do. You're basically making little regions and selecting what part of each comp you want to be officially part of the clip. Take off the snap, hit the S. Then, my friends, take off the selection, single take mode. You don't want that. No arrows need to be highlighted in order to do this. No arrows highlighted, okay? Now you're free to make your range, your clips. Keep the arrow key and all you have to do is hold the option. See, I'm holding option. So I want this first one here, right? So I'm gonna come over here, clip it here, and then I wanted this part for take 2, but I want it to end right here. And then now you have 3 sections. I don't know if you can see that. You have 1, 2, and 3. And all you have to do is click and within those regions, what part of the track you want. So look. Hello, it's Alexis. It's Alexis. It's Alexis. Right? Same thing. Let's say you really wanted to fine tune and you like this Alexis better down here. So you're going to clip that, hold the command, put a razor there. Now you have 4 sections and you wanted this Lexus versus the other Lexus. It's Alexis. Or you wanted this one. Lexus. Ooh. Yeah, I want that one, boy. Now, let's say you're happy with that. You have to fix these audible clicks in between, all right? There's a little bit of a difference here. So you can literally fade. You hit this little indicator up here, this little arrow, and you can fade them in between those clips. You can also fine tune it by just moving the region. You can change the region, you see? And it's just switching between the 2 different takes. You see that? And without that fader, it'll have a pretty nasty click. Watch. Alexis. See that? Let's take the fader off and you'll hear the click. Alexis. See? I just went in the middle of a word, I changed it. So that's that. This is another good way to get rid of dead silence. So for example, you see this, the beginning of here, there's some silence here. You might hear a hiss or something. Hell, maybe not. But let's say you wanted to get rid of all the dead silence in between the words. Simply make another region, right? And up here where it says silence, you see up here? Just click in this area. Now that's silent. So you can do that. You also want to fade this up a little bit. You can also fade a whole region or silence a whole region. Look, silence. I just silenced the whole region. Hello, it's Alexis. Silence. It's Alexis. Or I wanted this one. It's Alexis. Or you can even change. You can get really, really nitty gritty and just create little regions between here and there. And you want it this Lexis versus that Lexis. It's a Let's see. It's Alexis. Let's do this one. It's Alexis. See, you heard those clicks and pops? Same thing. I'll show you a quick, dirty, simple way of adding faders to all of them. Click on the first one, then click on the last one. Hold shift and click on the last one. They're all highlighted, then move them all at the same time and it creates a fader. Way easier. So now let's look at what you have. This is probably a hot mess. Hello, it's Alexis. It's Alexis. It's Alexis. Okay, so that's done, right? Hit the escape, and that's gonna play according to whatever you have selected there. Hello, it's Alexis. It's Alexis. It's Alexis. Now, if you're happy with that, you can commit to that and see where it says bounce. You can come up here and simply hit the bounce. And now it creates a single take of what you just bounced. Okay? You're not committed to that though. What you're selecting here, this arrow, is telling that clip up there in the region, is telling this F7, it's telling the clip to use this single take, but you just happen to bounce it to that single take. Does that make any sense? So you can say, nope, I don't want that. I want the way it was before. Deselect this, and it's back to where you can come up here, maybe move this, and then bounce this, and then you'll have a second bounce. Do you see it says bounce 1? You have this take, then you have that take. This one's a little different from that one. You can say, nope, I don't like the way it was. You let go of the arrow again, where there's none highlighted, and you go back to your comp editing. Now, I typically just leave it like this, so I can go and fine tune it, but until I'm really happy, then I'll bounce it. But it's non-destructive, so you can continually fix and change things. So once it's bounced, right, let's go ahead and select this bounce one that we have here. That's what's committed here. Now you can highlight and hit your pitch editor and change it. Hello, it's Alexis. It's Alexis. It's Alexis. You see how it used that new comp? The pitch editor is kind of simple. What I tend to do is Command A, highlight all of them, and just hit correct. All right? It corrects them. You saw I just shifted them? Now I'm gonna hit Command Z to undo that to show you the difference between snap and jump. So if you have jump, if you select, let's say a note that's kind of in between. See this note right here in between? If I drag this up, it's going to jump in the same off-tune settings. Let's see if I can show you. See how it's not exactly that note? You jump, it jumps up a tone, a semitone, but in the same degree as off as it was. I can't even speak. If you select snap, it'll snap to the right note, period, end of story. Watch. Boom, you saw how it snapped right to that note? That's the difference between snap and jump, okay? Now I think that works independent of correcting. Let's see if I correct this one and I have jump on. Let's see if I highlight this note and I have jump. See what happens, correct? No, see, that correct works independent from these transpose, from my understanding. Now fine is obviously, you really could just move this ever so finely. And of course you have this stuff up here that you can mess with. This handle here is the drift. It'll straighten out those notes. Let me show you a better one. See how that vibrato's drifting? You flatten it by going down. Okay, this handle here is a transition time from the last note to the next note. See that? Now it's kind of weird, but this transition note applies to the left side of the actual note. So see that right here, this note has a transition thing here, but it's affecting the one before it. So just something to keep in mind. Those are the three handles. The vibrato, you flatten it out, and the transition. So a hard transition and a really flat will give you the auto-tune sound. What else? Each note you select, if you notice on top of the clip up here, you can adjust their gain, the amount, the amplitude up here, and also other things here on this thing. Fine tune, preserve. I don't think they have a preserve handle. They do have the drift handle on the actual note. They have the transition handle. The formant they do not have on the handle itself. So you'd have to change the formant up here, and also the preserve you have to change here as well as the level on the actual clip or up here. One thing you could do too is mess with the timing on this. So you can actually take this note. Once again, you could take the snap off or leave it on however you want. And you see how I'm taking the handle here and you're just moving it. But it's connected to the last one, so it's stretching it. This is kind of doing the slice edit mode a little bit, which I prefer to do in the other mode, but you can really fine tune this right here. Just grab the end and wait till you see this little indicator and you could stretch this to your liking. Okay. So yeah, that's just stuff you have to mess with. But to be honest with you, this is, I think, more for like a natural singer type of pitching and correcting. I tend to do the auto tunes and I hardly ever go in here. In fact, if I do go in here, it's to actually purposely make it wrong so that the Neptune can actually have a harder time correcting it and pitching it and give you that T-Pain effect. But like I said, I'm not really qualified to do like this kind of stuff because I don't have any music out. It's just the stuff I put on YouTube joking around. But I do know how to use it. I know what everything is. So in that sense, I can help you. You know what I mean? One more thing I wanted to tell you is if you wanted to hear some reverb or something like that while you're singing, just go ahead and send it. go to your Vox, go to your whatever reverb, and send a little bit while you're recording. You can do that. That's what I do all the time. It gives me a little more confidence. You see what I'm doing? Let me show you what it sounds like if I do another comp on top of this. It's me, Alexis. I'm here every day, every day. So let's see what happens if you record something completely different over it. All right, hit the comp edit, and let's look at this. That is this new take 3. See up here? But you still have access to the bounce. So if you disconnect this, now you have this new take 3 that you can use. So you can select this one instead. It's me, Alexis. It's Alexis. It's Alex. And you can play with all of this stuff. And we can select this part of it and really botch it up. It's me, Alexis. It's Alex every day. It's Alexis. And we want back up here. Hey, it's me, Alexis. It's Alex every day. It's Alex every day. Now, it's me. I'm curious to see what that looks like if we now go to the pitch edit. Does it change all that? Let's see. It's me, Alexis. It's Alex every day. It's Alex every day. Yeah, see? So what you could do too, if you have the arrow key, if you hold the command and just over the note and click, you actually hear just that one MIDI note. Me, Alex. Me, Alex. So it gives you another option to really fine tune. So just keep the arrow key and hold command. Man, there's a lot you could do with just keeping the arrow key and just holding command. It works for a lot of different sequence parts in the Reason. So if you really wanted to really fine tune that, you can say, man, I really want that to be flat or a lot of vibrato. Let me see. See? And you can check this as you're working it. Or I want that note to be up here. A little fine tune. I did fine tune. Let's just go to jump. I want the right. Not jump. Let's go to snap. No, I want it up here. No, I want it here. Oh, I want the formant to be down. Let's change the formant down. Let's see what happens there. Oh, the formant changes the semitones. Oh, no, it's just a formant. I think this is an arbitrary number as far as formant goes. So there you go. You can play with that too. Yeah. But to me, it's easier to do that with the Neptune. But anyway. It's elect every day. It's elect every day. I mean, I don't know what else to show you. You know what I mean? You just gotta play with it. But that's just like the basics of messing with the comp editor, the pitch editor, and the slicing that I really don't use for vocals. But you could. Just keep in mind when you're messing with both comp, and a couple of key points is when you're messing with the comp editor and the pitch editor, to me, taking the snap off makes a big difference. You know, taking the snap off and really spending your time getting it perfect. Take as many takes as you want, but you just have to understand how it works. You know, how these arrows work. Remember, keynote, no arrow highlighted allows you the freedom to select your different takes. All right, and you're just cutting up regions up here. You can use the silence bar to double click the silence bar to make that silent. And then within those regions, you can select the take, and you can make those regions as tight on a word or sibilance or a phrase as many takes as you want. Okay, and then the fader keys up here. Select all the arrows, select the first one, hold shift, hit the last one, and then you could fade it in. And let's say that's too much. Generally, this is good for all, but then you could just select the one and mess with that to your liking. So yeah, that's it. And then when you're happy with that, then you could bounce this take, and now you have that one bounced. All right. Now I don't know how to rename these. Oh my God. So that's how you rename them. You just double click in there. I like this one. And this one, whatever. So apparently you could double click in this. I didn't know that. I just found it out. You can double click in this area and name the take. You know, like, oh, I like the Alexis. So you can, I mean, you could really hammer this home. So now, whatever arrow you select, I'm repeating myself, is the one that's going to be applied to the actual sequence. If you want to edit it, deselect, and now you're back to square one. You like whatever changes you made, bounce that again, rename it to whatever you want, and then you have different bounces, different takes. And once you have this arrow selected, that applies to your pitch edit. Then that is what's going to show up on a pitch edit. Oh, I just learned something new too. All right, back to my outro. All right, hold on. I'm going to act like I just came here. Okay. All right, guys, so there it is. I know it's a little bit long-winded. That's kind of my style. Let me know if you like this kind of editing where it takes a million years for me to actually edit it. If you guys could do me a favor, in the comments below, give me your thoughts on how you edit your vocals. And if there's something that I did that was wrong, let me know, because I like to learn too. If I did something wrong, if there's a better way of doing it or a faster way, or if I'm doing it completely wrong, please let me know, okay? And if you guys like this video, like it. And if you like it, share it. And don't forget to subscribe, all right? And check out my new album, my first one. It's just a chill beats. It's short, it's like 5 songs, but I just want to start the process. So check that out. Thank you very much. I'm gonna do a dance on the way out.